everyone. Yeah, we're back today in another episode of our Crystal B podcast. Today we're going to be talking about the Rivers State PDP crisis. I'm sure it's a story very many of you are aware, and for those who are not aware, you get updated today on our episode. Recall that recently there's a court order or a court judgment from the Rivers State High Court stopping the congresses conducted by the Rivers State PDP. And when that happened, somebody suddenly began to claim that he is the new state chairman of the party. We are aware that before the congresses of the PDP, we had a caretaker chairman in the person of Aaron Chukwuemeka. Aaron Chukwuemeka was the deputy to Ambassador Desmond Akawo, who was the state chairman before he was appointed into the Revenue Mobilization and Fiscal Commission. And so when Aaron became the caretaker chairman, the party decided to conduct the congresses, and then of course he emerged as the state chairman of the party alongside other members of the EXCO. But we woke up one morning to hear that there's a judgment invalidating the congresses, and that shocked everybody. So what it looks like is like the party is now divided into two in the state, where you have two chairmen claiming legitimacy. But whatever it is, we do not know. Today, we are going to be discussing all that and the issues raised by Honorable Nname Ewo, who claims that he is the new chairman appointed by some elders of the PDP in the state, not by the NWC of the party. While Aaron Chukwuemeka still holds sway with his ESCO members at the party secretariat on Aba Road in Port Harcourt. Today, in this episode, we are going to be having the State Publicity Secretary, Dr. Kenneth Yowika. He's going to be dealing with some of these issues. He's going to let us know the sequence of events. What happened? Did the party disobey the court's order? Were they supposed to be punished for that? Or was there any valid judgment that gave them the powers to conduct the congresses? Whatever it is, we're going to get all that in today's episode. Please don't go away, as it's going to be a sizzling and very entertaining interview. Thank you. So now we have the State Publicity Secretary of PDP in Rivers State, Dr. Kenneth Yowika. He's going to be doing justice to the topic, and we hope you guys are going to, give us your comments, your opinions, and then of course help us to share and like our page. Let him introduce himself, because I think that would be better. Sir, please, may we know you?
My name is Kenneth Yowika, PhD, Public Secretary, PDP, Rivers State.
Okay, sir, please. There's a contending issue, we call it a developing story, where it looks like the party, aside other contentious issues, the issue of who is the valid chairman of the party, the EXCO of the party, we suddenly began to hear that there's another faction, in fact, to the point where members of your party had to come to the party secretariat to kind of lay siege in case there's some kind of invasion by the other party. Please, can you tell us what led to all this?
All right. Thank you, Chief Oby Ndukwe, for the time you're having with us here this morning. I want to very quickly say this. We do not have two factions. I remain the Public Secretary of the PDP in Rivers State, my humble self, Kenneth Yowika, PhD, like I actually introduced myself earlier on. And Honorable Chukwuemeka Aaron, DSS RS, remains the chairman of the party in Rivers State. Why am I saying we do not have factions? We had issues in court prior to our elections. Yes, that was clear. And there was a case instituted against us stopping the congresses to hold. But the Federal High Court in Abuja, led by Justice Peter Lifu, came up with a judgment that gave us the go-ahead to go on with our congresses. And what did that judgment say? I want the people to be very attentive so that they get the clarification. That judgment said we should go ahead with our elections, that the police, the DSS, the Independent Electoral Commission, and the 7 people that instituted that matter should not in any way truncate, stop the congresses to be held. Wow. In fact, it went ahead to say that the national chairman of the party, the secretary and the organizing secretary, should do everything within their powers to make sure that the adjusted timetables of the party should be held and that election should go ahead. Now, as a law-abiding party, when we got that judgment from Justice Peter Lifu, we went ahead with our congresses, putting in mind that the injunction they had expired, and that gave us the clearance to go ahead with our own congresses.
There was an injunction by this court.
Yes, from the Federal High Court.
Federal High Court.
From the State High Court.
Okay.
That expired and gave us the
After
leeway.
how many days or weeks?
That was, I think, for a month.
Okay.
It expired, and that gave us the leeway to go. Okay, it was for 1 week.
Yes.
It was for 1 week. Yes, it was an ex parte.
Yeah.
It was for 1 week.
Okay.
And the moment that expired, it gave us the opportunity to go on with our congresses, which we did as a law-abiding party. Every machinery was put in place. On the 27th of July, the World Congresses were held. It was successful. On the 10th of August, the LGA Congresses were held. It was also very successful. And on the 31st of August, here at the party secretariat, 23 Abaru, the state congresses were held. The leader of our party, Chief Barrister Oby Ndukwe, was present here. All elders of our party, members of the National Assembly, were all here. Local government chairmen, ward chairmen, party chairmen, were all here to see that the congresses were held. I had people vote for me. I had close to 3,000 votes on that day. And now I want to also pick that judgment of Justice Peter Lifu also clearly said that those that did not purchase forms to contest that election, either as ad hoc staffs or as national delegates or members that wanted to be in the ESCO, should not be given any opportunity to take part in that election.
Wow.
It was clearly stated in that judgment.
Wow.
And because we are law-abiding, we went ahead to conduct our congresses. I just want to put you through. This was the program of the Congress that was held.
Okay.
You can see on this page that if we had any ill intentions, the photograph of His Excellency, the governor of the state, that is our party man, wouldn't have been here.
But was he informed? Did you write?
Of course, he was duly informed, because every correspondence that comes from the National Working Committee gets to the governor, as it gets equally to the chairman. He was duly informed, but unfortunately, the governor did not show. The minister of the FCT, who is our leader, was here. He came even if he was traveling that evening. He made sure he was here. He voted, and people were elected. We were inaugurated after that election, and we started our service to the party on that after that 31st of August. And since then, we've been occupying this seat until this kangaroo judgment from the State High Court came up. And if you look at what they have as a judgment, like I said, there was no service to the state office here. Now, as a litigant, you will have a sheriff bring a document from court that something has been instituted against you. It will be brought to the state office.
Or maybe substituted service.
Exactly.
Maybe they would have published it in a newspaper.
Nowhere. And even the National Working Committee clearly stated, when they refuted the information made by the National Publicity Secretary, that there was no information as per the judgment to the National Working Committee. So they had not seen anything. Tell me, when you have all these faults here and there, how will you claim that you have a judgment? And I also want to say, they came up to say they had a caretaker committee. The caretaker committee cannot be formed by the litigants. You cannot be the man that took the case to the court and you're claiming that you have formed a caretaker committee, that elders of the party made you the chairman of the party. That is completely impossible. If there should be a caretaker committee, the caretaker committee should be formed from the National Working Committee. None of this was done. And because we know as a law-abiding party that we had a Congress that was duly inspected by the Nigerian Police Force, the DSS, and INEC itself, why would we step aside as a party to claim that a caretaker committee is pulling a legitimate ESCO out of office? I want to say, Chief Ndukwe, that Honorable Aaron Chukwuemeka-led ESCO remains the authentic ESCO of the People's Democratic Party in Rivers State. And that is where we stand.
So the emergence of the purported emergence of Honorable Nname Ewo, who claims to be the new chairman of the party. He's been in the news, he's been granting press interviews and all that. Was he a party in the suit?
You know, like I said earlier, there was no service to this office or anywhere.
Okay.
Now all these judgments we see on social media. Go through what we saw as judgment on social media, where you ever find any name like Nname Ewo. He said he sat down and leaders put together and said he was the chairman of the party.
Is that the tradition? Is that the
It's
constitution of the
completely
party?
impossible.
Okay.
The PDP is one that goes by election. You cannot get elders from where? Who are the elders that elected him as party chairman? These are things that are completely impossible. And the PDP has not been a party that's had that very crazy tradition to just pick people by the roadside and put them and give them offices to handle. You must be sound, you must be credible. And I want to call on my elder, my father, to toe the line of responsibility, to hold what is right. I don't think he is doing that. The PDP is a responsible party and we expect him to stand by that.
Okay, so based on the constitution of the PDP,
yes,
if it is anything to go by, because I don't think that people still refer to the constitution of the parties. We are seeing a lot of infractions, a lot of disobedience to the rules and regulations and all that. But based on your constitution, who actually is the leader of the party in the state?
Well, the leader of the party in the state, as our ESCO, is Chief Barrister E.N. Wike. Now, when you talk about having leadership, prior to this time, prior to having the election and making Sir Siminalayi Joseph Fubara governor of Rivers State, everybody had heralded Chief Barrister E.N. Wike as leader of the party. The big question is that what changed? Till today, I'm sitting as spokesman of the party. I address Chief Barrister E.N. Wike as leader of the People's Democratic Party in Rivers State. I want to just make a few references. Our president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is a party man in the All Progressive Congress. Is he not the leader of the APC in Lagos? Has that been taken away from him?
No.
The answer is no. Chief Barrister
that's
E.N.
APC
Wike.
because we don't know what their constitution
Exactly.
may be different from that of PDP.
Because
I want to draw your attention to the fact that in the APC constitution,
yes,
the National Legal Advisor is the one who appoints legal representation in the state chapters when there are cases. But in the PDP constitution, we are meant to understand, and even based on the court's judgment, that it is the state legal advisor who, and the chairman of the party of course, in the state, who has that responsibility. So I think that there's something happening. People are mixing up the two, probably because people are moving back and forth.
No, it's very easy to clear.
Okay.
There are some things people put down in the constitution. That's why you also always have constitutional adjustments. Now, the APC might be going with that because they've not had issues with that. Okay. It's simple, Chief Ndukwe. You cannot be at the center and know what happens in the ward. Okay. Now there is a ward issue. As a legal advisor, you must be close to where this thing is happening. You cannot be at the center and know exactly what transpires within the state. And that is why they have a state ESCO. It is for the state ESCO to know what happens within the state. That is why they equally have an LGA ESCO. It is for the LGA ESCO to know what happens within the LGA and transmit to the state, and the state transmits to the center. So if APC is having that, when the problems will come, they will adjust with their constitution and toe the same line we are doing. Okay. Chief Barrister E.N. Wike, it's unquestionable, remains the leader of PDP because we have seen the capacity, credibility in him, and that is why he remains our leader. Because
normally we, when there's a governor of a state who run an election under a party, it's assumed that the moment he emerges as the governor, he is now the one to lead. Let me ask a question. If Barrister Wike were not to have been a minister and this crisis in the state was on, would he have still remained the leader of the party?
He remains the leader. I said because of the capacity he has, he remains the leader of the party till tomorrow. It cannot be taken from him. Even if Chief Barrister Wike was not a minister, he would still be as fiery as ever. He would still be as one that every political giant in Nigeria will want to run around to see a bit of information from him by way of advice to see what they can do. I do not want to say a lot of things, but if you've been following social media in the days gone by, you would see how much around the brown door in Abuja gets busy on daily basis.
Yeah,
members of the PDP, members of the APC, they are always there. It's not because he's in the PDP. It's because of the capacity he has.
His status and his position actually goes beyond even the party.
It goes beyond.
So now, where does that place the governor of the state?
Where it places the governor of the state is simple. The governor of the state governs the state and sees that the operation of the party within the state goes smoothly. But I do not know.
At the party level?
At the party level.
A member of NEC?
No, when I mean going smoothly.
Yeah.
If you look at the operations of the state, there is an ESCO within the state.
Okay.
You should be in communication with the chairman of the party within the state.
Okay.
But I will tell you that since we got inaugurated, prior to all this noise you're hearing, there has been no communication between His Excellency, the governor of our state, and the state party chairman. And if you want the state to function, these communications must happen. Only what we had after a short while in office was that people were running to an unknown party. All the local government chairmen within the state are in that unknown party. I call it unknown because prior to this time, nobody in Nigeria had known that party.
The Elephant Party.
Oh, that's what they call it. I remember when they had the Southeast gathered to say they were having their campaign. Even members of that party could not even remember what was on their logo. That shows how empty the party was. It's a party that nobody has ever contested any reasonable position on. And today that party wins all the seats of the local government within the state. We begin to worry.
Does that give credence to what the APC chairman in the state said, that election results are written in government house?
Well, I would not want to give information that I'm not sure about, but anybody that looked at what happened that day of the election would have seen that there was actually no election on that day. Some of the units, you had 5 or 6 people come to say they had voted and elections had been done. It was an embarrassment to democracy. That's not what the PDP in Rivers State expects.
Yeah, there's actually one of the issues that has been trending, and of course it's also in court, as I meant to understand, the issue of the 27 lawmakers.
Yes.
Who were said to have defected.
Mm-hmm.
They were elected under the PDP, and at some point they tried to, or they defected, I don't know, based on the definition of defection. I think the Supreme Court will make us understand better. Now, how do you feel having 27 members who won under your party's umbrella, and then make the effort or the attempt to even defect to another party? And this has actually further divided the party, because at the national, some members of the national working committee of your party are supporting the governor, who says that the 27 lawmakers no longer exist because they've lost their seats. While I think the national chairman, maybe the deputy and the secretary and some others are saying no, that they have not defected, they never received. Please, can you throw more light on this issue?
All right, thank you very much for that question. I'm a party man. The PDP is our party. First of all, there was nothing like a defection.
Wow.
We do not know what.
Not even when they were.
I'll just make a reference. I got married to a wife, and I say to my friends, I'm no longer married to her, but she sleeps in my house.
Okay.
She has my kids.
Okay.
She drives my car.
Wow.
She still answers my name. And I claim I'm no longer married to her. What court in the land will you take that cheaperish to, and it will make any sense? These 27 members were here with us on the 31st of August. They voted for me. The Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Martins Chike Amewule, sat on the first row in the conference hall and voted for me. he was part of those that made me public secretary of the party today. So you cannot in any way say that these people defected from the People's Democratic Party. They remain members of the People's Democratic Party.
You didn't receive any letters?
There was no documentation to that effect.
Okay.
I want to make it clear that there is a process for defection.
Okay, that's what we want to
And that process starts from your ward.
Okay.
Documentations are made to your ward. The process takes it to the LGA, and from the LGA, it comes to the center. Nothing like this was done. We have a state secretary here. There is no correspondence to that effect from any one of them saying they had defected from the People's Democratic Party. So, Right Honorable Chike Amewule and the other 26 members are still members of the People's Democratic Party. And any credible person would want to believe that issues that are in the court should be allowed to be in the court and let the court rule on these matters. That is why we're a little bit quiet about this. But I've just made it clear. They remain members of the People's Democratic Party.
Well, thank you, Doctor. There's no better place to wrap it up for now. Thank you.